Thank you for visiting the Right Table. In this video, we'll be having a look at some possible cultural shifts between the original Roadhouse, which was released in 1989, and the 2024 remake recently released at the time of this video on Amazon Prime. How many of these ideas in the video would you agree with? How many would you disagree with? Please share your thoughts and opinions on the badass cult classic Roadhouse with other fans. And please remember one of the key rules of Dalton: be nice. The shift in Dalton's character traits from one film to the other highlights the dynamic nature of cinematic portrayals, which often mirror the changing landscape of societal values and interpersonal dynamics. It's a fascinating observation that speaks to the power of film as a medium to capture and comment on the nuances of human behavior and cultural shifts. Let's start with a brief overview of the 1989 original. Released in 1989, Roadhouse is an American action film directed by Rowdy Herrington. Patrick Swayze stars as James Dalton, a professional bouncer hired to clean up a rowdy bar called the Deuce in Missouri. The plot centers around Dalton's efforts to protect the town from a corrupt businessman, Brad Wesley, played by Ben Gazzara. The film also features actors Kelly Lynch and Sam Elliott. Despite receiving mixed reviews, the film has become a cult classic and was notable for its action sequences and Swayze's performance. The film was released on May 19, 1989, and had a budget of $15 million. It managed to gross over $61 million at the box office. Roadhouse was also nominated for 5 Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Picture. A sequel, Roadhouse 2, was released in 2006, and a remake starring Jake Gyllenhaal was released in 2024. The original Roadhouse from 1989 and its 2024 remake share the same basic premise, but differ in several key aspects. In terms of the similarities, both films feature a protagonist named Dalton, who is hired to clean up a rowdy bar. Dalton's character traits, such as enjoying coffee, dealing with anger issues, and having a past incident that haunts him, are present in both versions. The signature line, "No one ever wins in a fight," is used in both films. And in terms of the differences between the two films, the setting has changed from a small Missouri town in the original to an island in the Florida Keys in the remake. The 2024 version has a more modern take influenced by mixed martial arts and UFC, reflecting the change in popular culture and fighting styles. The new Roadhouse features a bar on the water, boats, and even a hungry crocodile, adding a different scenic element compared to the original's honky-tonk bar. The character of Dalton has also been reinterpreted. While Swayze's Dalton is a quiet, philosophical bouncer with a mysterious past, Gyllenhaal's Dalton is a former UFC fighter with a more overtly dangerous aura. These changes can offer a lens to the different cultural and cinematic landscapes between the two eras, with the remake offering a contemporary twist on the quote-unquote classic story. Speaking of eras, let's continue by looking at the economy of the time of each film. The economy during the time of the original Roadhouse film in 1989 was characterized by a period of growth and prosperity in the United States, following the economic recovery that began in the early 1980s. This economic climate likely influenced the film in several ways. In terms of consumer spending, the economic boom that consumers had more disposable income to spend on entertainment, including going to the movies. This could have contributed to the film's commercial success at the box office. Cultural reflection, the film's themes of individualism and fighting against corruption may have resonated with audiences during a time of economic optimism and confidence in personal empowerment. Production values. A strong economy might have allowed for a more generous budget for films like Roadhouse, enabling higher production values and the ability to attract popular actors like Patrick Swayze. Escapism. During prosperous times, audiences often look for escapism in their entertainment choices. Roadhouse, with its action-packed plot and larger-than-life characters, provided a form of escapism that might have been particularly appealing during this period. It's important to note, however, that while the economy can influence film production and reception, the success of a film like Roadhouse also depends on a multitude of factors, including the story, the actors' performances, and the marketing campaign. The film's status as a cult classic suggests that it has qualities that have allowed it to endure beyond the economic conditions of the time. On the other hand, what are the possible influence of the economy of 2024 on the reimagining of Roadhouse? Here might be some of the ways. Digital transformation. The film industry has undergone significant digital transformation, with streaming services becoming increasingly prevalent. This shift could impact the distribution and marketing strategies for the remake, potentially focusing more on digital platforms rather than traditional theatrical releases. Economic challenges. The international film industry in 2024 is facing challenges such as funding cuts and the after effects of strikes, which could affect the production budget and the scope of the remake. These economic factors might lead to creative solutions in filmmaking to manage costs effectively. Audience preferences. Economic conditions often shape audience preferences, and in times of uncertainty, viewers might gravitate towards films that offer escapism or nostalgia. The Roadhouse remake could capitalize on this by providing a familiar story with a contemporary twist that resonates with current viewers. Technological advancements. With the rise of AI and other technological advancements, the remake could incorporate modern special effects and filming techniques that were not available during the original's film production, potentially attracting a new generation of viewers. These economic and technological influences could play a significant role in how the Roadhouse remake is produced, marketed, and received by audiences. The economy of the two eras that each film was produced in, respectively, is important because it highlights one of the significant differences between the 1989 original and the 2024 remake. The reasons as to why Dalton is hired to work for the bars Double Deuce and the Roadhouse. On the one hand, in the original version, Dalton is hired because of his expertise, job experience, and successful track record with other establishments in his industry. Because of that, he is sought out and offered a job to which he is able to successfully negotiate his terms due to his reputation within the industry as the best cooler in the business. The Dalton of the 2024 remake, however, is hired under a different set of circumstances, showing the cultural shift from the muscle economy or manual labor of the 80s to the economy of celebrity of the digital age of the 2020s. What then is the cultural shift towards today's economy of celebrity, in contrast to the past economy and hiring practices of highly experienced and highly skilled individuals as the prerequisite for job success and employment? The shift from valuing highly skilled individuals to the economy of celebrity reflects broader changes in society and the job market. In the past, success was often associated with years of experience and a high level of skill in a particular domain. Today, the rise of social media and the attention economy has created a new form of currency, fame and influence. Celebrities and influencers can have a significant impact on public opinion and consumer behavior, which can translate into economic power. This shift doesn't necessarily devalue expertise or skill, but rather adds a new dimension to how value is perceived and rewarded in the marketplace. The ability to attract and maintain public attention can be just as valuable as traditional forms of expertise, especially in industries like entertainment, marketing, and fashion. However, this doesn't mean that skills and experience are no longer important. Many sectors still rely heavily on specialized knowledge and abilities. The key difference is that personal branding and visibility have become more integral to professional success across various fields. As society continues to evolve, it's likely that the balance between these factors will continue to shift, reflecting changes in technology, media consumption, and cultural values. In addition, the economy of celebrity as a factor that was exemplary of the cultural shift between the two versions of Roadhouse was also displayed in terms of the anonymity of Dalton in the original Roadhouse, whereas in the 2024 remake, Dalton was known by even the bystanders passing by in the film. This aspect of the 2024 remake showcases an important change in the cultural landscape that sets it apart from the era of the 1989 original, and that is the influence of social media. This particular contrast between the original Roadhouse and its 2024 remake regarding the protagonist's anonymity versus fame could also highlight another aspect of this significant cultural shift, particularly in relation to social media's impact on society in terms of mental health as well as social interaction. In terms of social interaction in the 1989 film, Dalton's relative anonymity allows him to navigate his environment with a certain level of freedom and discretion. His reputation is built through direct interactions and personal relationships, which aligns with the pre-internet era's approach to privacy and social interaction. Conversely, the Dalton of the 2024 remake is better known by a larger number of people due to social media. This illustrates the modern phenomenon of digital fame and its effects on individuals. Social media can amplify a person's reputation and influence, but it can also lead to increased scrutiny and pressure. This public visibility can indeed affect one's happiness and peace of mind, as it often comes with a loss of privacy and a constant need to manage one's public image. The presence or absence of these subplots involving social media and its implications for personal identity and community interaction offer a lens through which we can examine the evolving nature of fame, privacy, and personal fulfillment in the digital age. It's an interesting reflection of how technology has transformed not only our social interactions but also our sense of self and community. In the original, Dalton is a philosopher and seldom, if never, takes anything personally. In the 1989 film, Dalton's philosophical outlook and calm demeanor represent a form of masculinity that values inner strength, self-control, and wisdom. This portrayal aligns with the era's ideas of a hero who is both physically strong and morally grounded. In the 2024 remake, Dalton speaks more like a surgeon, detailing which body parts he will or has damaged on his opponents before as well as after the fighting ensues. Furthermore, when during times spent alone with himself, the 2024 Dalton displayed more terminally self-destructive behavior that was not characteristic of the original Dalton, the 1989 original version of Roadhouse. This aspect of the differences between the two Daltons, anonymity versus fame, could further bring to light another significant aspect that sets apart the 2024 version of Dalton from the 1989 original version of Dalton. That being the state of mind each of the two Daltons exhibit in private as well as out in public. The 2024 Dalton's more analytical and aggressive approach to confrontations could be seen as a response to contemporary society's faster pace and more explicit communication styles. Today's audiences might resonate with a character who articulates his intentions clearly and displays a more overt form of assertiveness. Moreover, through the lens of Dalton, the 2024 remake, the character's own self-destructive behavior could have been further influenced by social media and its effects on a person's happiness or peace of mind being related to the number of people who know the person. The changes in societal attitudes and social interaction over time reflected within the differences between the character of Dalton in the original Roadhouse and the 2024 remake does offer insights into how cultural norms and expectations around conflict resolution, emotional expression, and masculinity have evolved. The original Dalton's non-confrontational philosophy might be seen as a call for understanding and restraint, while the modern Dalton's detailed pre-fight breakdowns could reflect a society that values transparency and directness even in aggression. So, in comparing the two Daltons to show how the cultural shifts brought up by things like the economy, anonymity versus fame brought on by social media can bring to light perhaps the most apparent difference between the two characters, the times they lived in, and the spaces and places they inhabited. Throughout the story of Dalton in the original 1989 version, we could see the subtle effects he had over the community he moved into, in that the people he worked with or was on a friendly basis with elevated their activity and sense of self in the film. For example, the waitress of the Double Deuce becomes a singer at the bar later on as the bar becomes more successful. A fellow bouncer gets more skill and confidence in his job, and finally, the townspeople work together to stand up against the corrupt businessman trying to overtake their town, played by the great late Ben Gazzara. These subplots from the original Roadhouse highlight the protagonist's positive influence on the community and individual growth and serve to deepen the story, showing how a central character can inspire change and empowerment in others. The absence of such subplots in the 2024 remake could be interpreted in various ways. Shift in focus. The remake might prioritize different aspects of the story, such as the action sequences or the personal journey of the protagonist over the community development seen in the original. Cinematic trends. It could reflect current cinematic trends that favor fast-paced storytelling and more intense action over the slower character development and community building arcs of the past. Societal reflection. The change might also mirror a shift in societal values where individualism is more pronounced and the sense of community might not be as emphasized as it was in the late 1980s. The original Roadhouse and its remake can indeed be seen as lenses through which we view the evolution of community, interaction, and individual influence. The differences between the two films might suggest changing attitudes toward the role of the individual in society and the importance placed on communal support and upliftment. In the tapestry of the original 1989 Roadhouse, Dalton's present subtly weaves a narrative of empowerment and communal upliftment. His interactions with the townsfolk not only elevate their sense of self, but also their societal roles, as seen in the transformation of a waitress to a singer and a bouncer gaining confidence and skill. These narrative threads underscore Dalton's role as a catalyst for positive change, inspiring the community to unite against a common adversary. Conversely, the 2024 remake's omission of these subplots could signify a narrative shift, aligning with contemporary cinematic preferences for brisk storytelling and pronounced action, or perhaps reflecting a societal pivot towards individualism over collective ethos. The juxtaposition of both films offers a reflective lens on the evolving dynamics of community and individual agency, hinting at the broader cultural dialogue about the value of communal harmony and personal empowerment. Have you seen both films? What do you think of this comparison of the 1989 original version of Roadhouse and its 2024 remake? What are your thoughts of either of these films? Please add your thoughts and opinions on the 1989 original version of Roadhouse and its 2024 remake in the comments section. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I hope you will also go far too in your travels, your writing, and everything you dream to do. Thank you again for visiting the right table. I wish you all the best to you and yours in everything you do. Have a great day.